Hey guys, Rami here with your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Tuesday, February 16th. In this video, which is sponsored by Policygenius, I want to talk to you about new details in terms of the timeline of getting the stimulus checks. As you know, Congress is in recess this week because why not, right? But some committees are obviously still working, and next week will be very, very important. I also want to show you a very important piece of information from the Congressional Budget Office about the $15 minimum wage. This changes everything when it comes to whether they can pass the $15 minimum wage as part of the budget reconciliation or not, which has the potential of making the process of passing the whole stimulus package a lot easier. So as of now, the House subcommittees approved the different parts of the relief package legislation last week under the budget reconciliation framework. While everyone in Congress is on vacation this week, the House Budget Committee is planning to assemble all the bills that are already approved together to prepare the stimulus package for a vote on the House floor next week, just like Nancy Pelosi said the other day. After the Budget Committee puts the bill together, it will go to the Rules Committee, then the whole thing will be ready for a vote on the House floor next week. And we can see this on the House calendar right here. So as you can see, they have for this week, while they're off for President's Day the whole week, there's committee work on the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. And then next week, there are votes that can be done on the 23rd and the 24th and the 25th. So sometimes here and the 22nd here, but it says postponed until 6:30. So this is where we can expect this stimulus package as a whole to pass in the House. So between the 22nd and the 25th. And then it will go to the Senate. Now let's see what will happen in the Senate when the House sends the bill over right after we talk about Policygenius for a minute. So you guys know I never had sponsors on my channel because it just wasn't my thing. I turned down every sponsorship opportunity that came my way because I never wanted to sell you anything. But this is something very important, especially after the year we've had last year. On a personal level, for me, after losing my cousin who was only 39 years old, I realized that life insurance is very, very important, especially when you are young. So when Policygenius reached out to me, I felt it's very fitting to work with them since I'm looking into getting supplemental life insurance for myself right now. Policygenius is America's leading online insurance marketplace. Since 2014, they've helped over 100,000 families get insurance right and have placed $45 billion in coverage by combining cutting-edge tech with expert human help. Once you get life insurance, you can cross a huge task off your 2021 to-do list, especially if you have family members and dependents who depend on your income. Life insurance is usually way more affordable than you might think. Policygenius helps you get personalized quotes from top companies in minutes. You can save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policygenius. You could save $1,300 or more per year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. So all you have to do is click Get Started, check all that applies to you, fill out the rest of the information, and you are ready in 2 minutes. So visit policygenius.com/pointspointers to shop the market and start saving today. So back to the video. The Senate is in session the first 2 weeks of March, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is trying to find ways to speed up the process once the bill gets to him in the Senate. And one of these ways is bypassing Senate Finance Committee approval for parts of the bill in order to get the legislation to Biden before the federal unemployment benefits expire on March 14th. So he's really trying to move it up in those 2 weeks of March, the first 2 weeks of March. Now he can do this if he can get all 50 Democrat senators on board with everything in the stimulus package without needing committee votes. This means he has to get Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema to agree to the stimulus checks phase-outs at $100,000 for individuals and $200,000 for couples, and also agree on the $15 minimum wage phasing in by 2025. Now, the stimulus check part, I feel, is not a big deal, and they can fold on that. The $15 minimum wage, though, that will be the problem, but there may be a solution here, and this is where the Congressional Budget Office comes in. Remember, there is a Senate Parliamentarian who will have to look at the rules of the budget reconciliation in the Senate to determine whether the $15 minimum wage can pass under this method or not. Because we've been saying that this cannot pass under a budget recon because it doesn't affect the federal budget, and the Senate Parliamentarian has to make that decision. And here's where things get interesting. Let's quickly look at what this Senate Parliamentarian does. So first of all, the current parliamentarian is Elizabeth McDonough. And here's, look at this, look at what it says right here. So the parliamentarian answers questions from the presiding officer about the wording of the motions and about precedents related to motions or actions. The parliamentarian also offers advice about interpreting standing rules about legislation. The presiding officer usually accepts interpretations issued by the parliamentarian, but the interpretations aren't binding on their own. Now, what does this mean? Basically, she will say if she thinks the $15 minimum wage fits in the rules of the budget recon or not, but the Senate can vote to overrule her. They may not have to do that though, because this is what the Congressional Budget Office had to say. So they released this report yesterday, and it is about the cost estimate of the recommendations of the House Committee on Education and Labor. And this is the line that is very, very important. It says here, increase the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2025, which would affect the federal budget and impose intergovernmental and private sector mandates. So this right here, this one little phrase right here, which would affect the federal budget. So basically, this Senate parliamentarian can take a look at this report and say, listen, the Congressional Budget Office, they say that this will affect the federal budget office, the federal budget. So let me take a look at the rules, try to interpret it one way. They interpret it that way. Do I really think it doesn't fit? Maybe it fits. Okay, so let's say it does affect the federal budget. So then she's going to go to the Senate and say it does affect the federal budget and the $15 minimum wage can pass under the current budget reconciliation for this stimulus package. This is just an assumption and a way of thinking, but it may very well happen because this report is supposed to be bipartisan. It's not affiliated with any party, this CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. So may she read it and take a look at that and read the rest of the report. Maybe it explains further why it would affect the budget, why it would affect the federal budget, and make that decision, which will make it easier for the Senate and Chuck Schumer to go ahead and say to all the Democrats, listen, everyone said and everyone agrees the $15 can pass under the budget recon. It will affect the federal budget along with everything else like the stimulus checks, the unemployment money, and all these things. So what do you guys think? Can we just vote on it and get it passed with the simple majority? If everyone kind of agree on a voice vote, then he can put it on the floor right away and go ahead and vote on it without having to go to do the committee votes. So this is to, if you're looking to get the stimulus package, this to me is good news. We'll just have to wait to see. I mean, next week will be huge. Once the House votes on it and pass it, sends it to the Senate, it will be very interesting to see how Chuck Schumer is going to handle this because he really does need the support of everyone, every single Democrat in the Senate in order to get the 50 votes. So then Kamala Harris can put the 51st vote and we have a stimulus package before the middle of March. Joe Biden signs it and send it out. So if they do finalize this, they have the first 2 weeks of March. That's when the Senate can have this be voted on. So if they do it by March 14th or maybe a couple days before, they said, I mean, the IRS said they can have the checks out within a week. And that's what happened last time in December. I think it was approved, signed by December 27th. The following week, we saw the checks coming out. So this is the hope right now. The hope and all eyes are on the middle of March to pass the stimulus package and get the checks out into your bank accounts and into your pockets so you can finally have the help you've been waiting for. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos and new content for you. Also, make sure to check all the links in the description. So that's it, you guys. Thank you again for watching. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.